Hi folks, HR Funk here with a holster review video. Now some of you might recall that a year or so ago I had a holster giveaway, and the gentleman who provided the holsters for that giveaway was Alex. And Alex is now working for a new holster company. In fact, it's Houston Holsters, and he sent me some of his new products to take a look at. And in this video I'm going to be showing them to you and telling you what I think about them. So here we go. As you can see, I have an assortment of Houston holsters here on the bench. And the first thing I'll tell you about Houston holsters is they come in a wide variety of different models for many different types of handguns. If you look at the HoustonGunHolsters.com website, you can see all the different variations and see all the different models of handguns that these holsters are made for. They also come in a wide selection of different types of holsters. On the bench, I have everything from a paddle holster that doubles as a belt slide to inside the waistband to a retention holster. And I've got them for several different types of handguns. Some of them are a little bit more universal, like this one, which I'll talk about in a little bit. But in general, these holsters are a pretty good value. Most of these models come in at less than $50. They are available either directly from Houston Gun Holsters on their website, or you can find them on Amazon as well. And we'll kick things off here at the end of the line with this Kydex model. This is Houston Holsters model K1019G, and this is a right-hand holster intended for Glock 19 size handguns. And since this is the all-in-one model, it comes along with additional hardware. So you can set this holster up either as a paddle holster to wear with no belt whatsoever. You see it's got the little hook there to keep it inside your pants. Or you can run the belt through this slot that you see here and use this as a belt slide. Or you can remove this portion altogether and use the included hardware to set this up as an inside the waistband holster. So virtually any way you want to carry your handgun, this holster will accommodate you. And since it's set up for Glock 19 size handguns, it fits the new Ruger RXM pretty well. Now the RXM is a little loose in here, but if I tighten the two screws right here, I could cinch that down a little bit more and increase the friction on the pistol so it would not slide out of there quite as easy, which I'm probably going to do here before too terribly long. You also notice that there is a place down the side of the holster for you to index your trigger finger when you are either holstering or removing the pistol from the holster. And inside, I don't know how well this is going to show up on the camera in this light, but this is a lined holster. You don't see that a lot of times with Kydex holsters, but we do have it here. So if you're concerned about your handgun's finish, it's going to be in a nice soft lining rather than scraping right up against the hard Kydex. Moving on down the line, the next one I'll tell you about is this model, which is the N2-33, also a right-hand model. And you can see it has the same paddle that was on the holster I showed you a moment ago, but this one is a retention holster. This is considered a level 2 retention, and it does have the button on the side for your index finger. This is also set up for a Glock 19 pistol, but interestingly, the RXM does not fit this, and I don't have a Glock 19. Now I can force it in there if I want to, just to show you the way the button works, but this is really not properly sized for the RXM. I'm sure a Glock 19 would fit right in there just like the label indicates, but the RXM I have to fight with a little bit. And there is no tension screw on this, so I can't release it a little bit to get a better fit with the RXM. This is a Kydex model. This one is not lined, but you can get this in different variations. There is a drop leg version that's available with this holster, and I think there is another belt retention that is not the paddle style that you see here. So you can also use this if you want to have that retention, and it's going to give you some latitude as to how you're carrying your handgun. And if you check out Houston Gun Holsters, you can see all the different variations that are available with this particular model. Along with those two outside the waistband models, Alex also sent me 3 IWB models, and I told him when we were talking that I'm not a big fan of inside the waistband carry of any sort, whether it be appendix inside the waistband or any other kind. I used to carry handguns that way years ago, and I just got to the point where I don't like carrying that way because it's very uncomfortable for me. However, he did want to include some of these so I could try them out, and I have dutifully tried each one of them, and I still don't like inside the waistband carry. But if you are someone who does, there are some nice things about these holsters, and I'll start with this one. This holster and the one on this end are made out of what Houston Holsters calls eco leather, and this is a very soft material, and when it's up against your skin, it is at least soft, and it's not going to be jabbing you or scratching you or anything like that. There is a clip that you can see here to retain this holster on your belt or your waistband when you have it down inside your pants. This is also adjustable, and you can see this is made for a flashlight, and when I grab my CZ P01, which is outfitted with an O light that you see right there, it fits in there very well, and if I needed to, I could tighten this down a little bit, or I could open it up a little bit if I had a slightly larger handgun or maybe a bigger flashlight or whatever. But that works pretty well, and this is one of the handguns that I was testing this holster with. And as I said, for me, this is still not a comfortable way to carry, but it did hold my P01 securely, and I didn't have any problems as far as accessing it or anything else. Next one over is the hard Kydex inside the waistband holster. This one also has the soft lining. You can see that right there. This is almost like a felt lining. I'm not sure exactly what the material is, but it feels like felt. This is also set up for the Glock 19 holster. It also has the position right there to index your finger, although with the clip right there, if you had this down inside your waistband, it would be difficult to do that. This side is extended up to give a barrier between your body and the handgun and try to help make this a little more comfortable. Again, if you're someone who does like carrying this way. This is not reversible, so you cannot take the clip off of this side and move it over to this side. These are right hand and left hand specific holsters. Down on the very end is the other one made out of the eco leather. And of these three, this one, probably not surprisingly, was the most comfortable because it's the smallest. And I was carrying this with my J-frame Smith & Wesson. This is the titanium cylinder aluminum frame pistol, or revolver rather, that I've had for a long time. And this was still not comfortable, but it was closer to being comfortable with this small package. I also tried this with my Walther PPK, and that one also was closer to being comfortable, at least for me. This is universal enough that it will accommodate my older Smith & Wesson CS9 Chief Special revolver. So whether you have a Chief Special revolver or Chief Special pistol, those will fit in there pretty well. One thing I noticed though was with my IWI Masada, with the optic attached, it does not want to go as far into the holster as it should. So keep that in mind. This is not really going to be optic compatible. If I did not have the optic on there and just had the cover over the slide, it would probably go down in there perfectly. But with that on, it's keeping it from going all the way down into the holster. The last item that Alex sent me is right here, and this is a double magazine pouch, and this was the only one that I really had a little bit of an issue with. And there were a couple of issues. First off, you can see this is very straight, and when you put it on your belt, it doesn't in any way really curve around your body, so there's that right out of the gates. But the big thing that I ran into is, even though this is labeled as being appropriate for Glock 9mm/40 Smith & Wesson handgun magazines, when I use a Glock factory magazine, it doesn't fit. Now, I'm able to loosen these screws, and I can get to the point where this magazine will fit, but when I do that, the screws are loosened up to the point that I'm a little concerned about the security of the magazine holder actually staying together, and not only that, but also retaining the magazine. Now, oddly, what I did notice is if I have metal magazines, and this is an older third generation Smith & Wesson magazine, that fits in there just about perfectly. I've got the magazine for my CZ P01, that fits in there just fine, no problems with that. And this is a Browning high power magazine, and that also fits in there. So if you get one of these magazines, or maybe I should say is if you have one of these handguns with the metal magazines, unless the wrong magazine holder just got put in this bag with the wrong label, then I would say that you want to get the Glock 9/40 magazine holder for these metal magazines for the older Smith & Wessons or the CZs or the high powers or anything that has a magazine, a metal magazine that is similar in size to these should work in this magazine holder. So there you go, folks. That's the quick rundown on Houston holsters as sent to me by Alex. For more information, stop by HoustonGunHolsters.com or check out their listings on Amazon. And that's it for this video. If you have any questions or comments, as always, make sure you forward those to me. Also, remember to stop by my website, which is hrfunk.com. Check out the news and information page to see all the latest things that are going on with me in the channel, and also go by the products page because a lot of manufacturers whose products I've reviewed here on the channel have links on that page, and underneath those links is some information that's probably going to save you some money if you decide to make a purchase from any of those manufacturers. See you next time, folks, and until then, good shooting. Bye-bye.